All right, let's do a blind install because why not? Those are always exciting. Bear with me here. I know what I want to install, but I'm trying to record this video and install it without testing it before. So if there's a roadblock or two, just kind of grab a beverage and enjoy this ride. So I am on a Windows 11 host right now. This will also work on a Mac. I can't recall directly off the top of my head if 2204 for Ubuntu works on the latest LTS works directly on Macs. You might have to do the server with the ARM architecture. If you're comfortable doing that, rock on, go for it. I am on a Mac right now, and then I'm using a remote desktop to get into a Windows computer that I have laying around in my house. So that's what this video is going to be. This is going to be the Windows-based install. If you're on a Mac, by all means, feel free to try to do something similar on a Mac, but you might have to use, like I said, the server install. With that being said, if you're on a Windows desktop, go ahead and download this image, this ISO file. And I've already downloaded it. It's not too terrible, but it does take a few minutes. Ignore the malware stuff, that's for another class. But here we have an ISO file running Ubuntu 2204. I'm going to assume a few things about you as a student taking an upper division class. First off, you're comfortable with the computer. By that, I mean, you know how to navigate my computer and the folder structure. You know how to add, remove programs. You're comfortable with perhaps just some absolutely basic terminal command line stuff. I'm going to also assume that in a Linux environment, you are somewhat comfortable. Doesn't mean you have the commands memorized, but at least it means you've run them before. Opening up terminal, doing things like CD and LS and standard navigating the hierarchy of a Linux environment. If you're like, I haven't done it, but I'm a quick learner, cool. You should be able to follow along just fine. If you're terrified by those things, maybe take this class at a later date after you've had some intro to Linux stuff. Just putting that out there. I'm pretty good about pasting commands and making sure you know what you need to run. But if you're like, gosh, what's that command do? If you're not comfortable Googling it, then yeah, we should probably chat. Anyway, you also need to install VMware Workstation. I provided a couple links on Blackboard. If you wanted, if you are team VirtualBox or Hyper-V or some other hypervisor, I don't care as long as you are comfortable with that tool. I'm not going to beat VMware down your throat. That's what I use. That's what I'm going to do the demo with. You do you. But with that being said, since we are running virtualization software, if you have a Chromebook, it's not going to work. If you've got a iPad, not going to work. You need to have at a minimum 50 gigs of free hard drive space on your main computer to do this course. And if you're someone who's also in another class with other VMs, you know, make sure you have the hard drive space you need. I'm telling my malware analysis class, you guys need 100 just for fun because we take lots of snapshots in that class. Here, not as many. If you need to get an external drive, fine. If you're like, I'm not in a position where I can do those kinds of things, Dan, let's chat. There might be a way to set you up in AWS. It might cost you a little bit of money every month, like $5 to $10 a month, but we can have that conversation, but we need to have it early, like this week. Anyway, if you're like, nah, man, I've got a machine, I'm comfortable installing VMware, let's get this virtual machine going. Let's get it going. We will create a new virtual machine here in VMware Workstation Pro. We do have a disk image file. We just downloaded it. Yay. I'm gonna go to downloads. Boom, there it is. It detected Ubuntu by default. Love it. Full name, whatever. Dan. I don't care about all this crap. Username, Dan. Fine. Remember your password. Where do we want to put this guy? Well, so glad it asked. So I like the default location it gave me. I like to do a folder within my documents called virtual machines, and then I put my VMs in there. That's what I like to do. You might have yours on your C drive. You do you. As long as it's a spot you remember and you remember, hey, don't delete it. Maximum disk size. I'm going to put 40. I like to have a little extra cushion. And if you haven't had to repartition a drive in Linux, it's not complicated, but it's definitely not as easy as it is in Windows. And there's a little bit more to it than just going into your VMware settings and changing the file size. There's a little bit more to it. So, with that in mind, we are setting our maximum disk size to 40. Next, I'm going to click on Customize Hardware. I've got 4 gigs of memory. That should be fine. If you're on a machine that's got a little more memory, can't remember what's on here. I don't want, let's go view RAM. Tells you how often I use this bad boy. I got 16 gigs. I'm gonna pump this up to 8. But 4 should be completely fine. Okay, everything else I like, 2 processors. We could bump it up if we wanted to. I'm just gonna do 2. And then we will close that. We will hit finish. So it's gonna take a few minutes to set up the virtual disk files that we can then install Ubuntu on. So we'll give that a few moments to start up. And I'm going to pause the video while it does its initial boot, and we'll pick up from there. All right, so here we are at the basic install page. English, love it. We'll leave that alone. Oh my gosh. I like normal install. I'm cool with updates for this guy. No worries there. This is fine. Erase disk and install Ubuntu. There's nothing to erase because we just had our VMware software create the initial file. So we'll hit install now. That's cool. Yep, not worried about that. Continue. And it's gonna take a minute. I'm gonna let it do its thing. And nope, we're gonna hit continue because I'm in Chicago apparently. My name. I feel like I just did this, but we'll do it again. Continue. All right, once it gets done, you'll get this, hey, installation is complete. We'll go ahead and let it reboot, and we'll see you after the reboot. All right, after a couple of reboots and logging in, we get our Ubuntu desktop window. So this online account thing, I'm going to skip. Not worried about that. The pro thing, I'm going to skip. This, it's up to you. I'm going to say, no, I don't want to send anything. Next on privacy, says we're ready to go. Cool. All right. We've got a couple things we need to make sure are installed. And to do that, we're going to start by opening up our terminal window. I like to have an icon here on my toolbar. So I'm going to right click on the terminal window I just opened. And I'll hit add to favorites and it should now always be there. Yep, cool. I love it. There's an update. We'll go ahead and update it here in a bit. I'm not too worried about it at this exact moment. Let's just verify a couple things are working. Python's on there. Love it. Oh my gosh. All these updates. I'll do those here in a minute. Let's make sure pip is installed. Pip 3 dash dash version. We don't have pip. Okay. Yep. We don't have pip. Let's do this. Sudo apt update. That might take a minute, but we'll let it do its thing right quick. Cool. And then let's do sudo apt install -y python 3 -pip. And let's get pip installed on there. So now we will verify. Cool, we have pip 3. I like it. There are a couple things we want to install via pip. So let's do python 3-m pip install pandas space request space pyyml. We'll hit enter and let those three things install. And then let's make sure Wireshark's on here. Nope. Sudo apt install -y Wireshark. Should non-supervisors, we'll go ahead and click yes. We'll change this to curl. All right, installed curl. Let's do wget. It's already on there. Let's do TCP dump. It's already on there. Let's do nmap. All right. So after nmap, let's do UFW, which is a firewall. It's on there already. Open SSL. Might already be on there. Nope. Cool. And then let's do JQ. All right, let's do Docker. We might use Docker, we might not. For now, I'm putting it on there. And then Docker -compose. And I'll provide all these commands in the install document. Awesome. So once you've got those installed, we can now go ahead and update, and we should be good with our machine. So we'll see you on the next talk. Thanks, y'all.